Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Welcome back, everybody. Here is a Short Shifts episode, and we have somebody that we want to thank first, Jeffrey Jehu Lavecchio. This is a company in the St. Louis area, but they service people all over the place with their equipment needs. Vex, you ready to rock and roll?
Skate Tech Skate Sharpening Equipment Repairs brings you NHL quality service at an affordable retail price. With over 23 years of sharpening and equipment customizing experience, Skate Tech serves as your personal equipment manager, providing the highest quality skate sharpening, blade profiling, team uniforms, and equipment alterations available on the market today. My pros here in St. Louis all trust Skate Tech. Let Skate Tech help you take your on-ice performance to the next level with the edge the pros trust. Check them out at skatetechsharpening.com.
Boom. Okay, so for today's Short Shifts episode, I want to talk about, Vex, I want to talk about D-zone faceoffs.
D-zone faceoffs.
I want to talk about D-zone faceoffs. I've thrown a couple clips out on social media on some pretty sick offensive zone plays. We've talked about O-zone faceoffs before, but we have not talked about D-zone faceoffs before. So give me some high-level thinking. Give me some habits. Give me some concepts that you think are really important for successful defensive zone draws. Go.
This habit here changed my life, my hockey career, not my life, my hockey career. Well, which did change my life, I guess, at 17 years old, because we had so many different face-offs, and I wasn't mature, so my coach told me to do this, and then from then on, I did it for every single face-off for the rest of my 15 years that I played hockey. As I was skating to the face-off dot, in my head, I was going, what do we do if we lose it? And I would quickly visualize what my routes and rules were. What do we do if we win it? Every single face-off, I did this from 17 when he taught it to me, Hastings, in Omaha, until I retired at 32. And it helped so effing much. Now, one, you got to know what your roles are on the face-offs off the ice before you even step on the ice, so that you just can quickly go over them in your head when you see that there's going to be a face-off and you're on your way to the face-off. So number one, that little tip right there changed my life. Number two, first thing you have to do when the puck drops is engage. Immediately engage your opponent. Whether you're a winger, obviously if you're a center, you're trying to win the face-off. But everybody else, if you're standing next to a guy on the other team, the first thing you need to do is engage. What do I mean by engage? One, get body position, get your leg out in front of theirs. Usually that's probably going to mean getting closer to the face-off dot. So you get your stick into their body, get your leg out in front of their leg, so you have body position to help your center win that puck back, forward, jump and go, whatever it may mean. You have to engage first. Be proactive, not reactive. You're not standing up straight. Your stick is on the ice. Your knees are bent. You're ready to move laterally and closer to the dot, forward most likely, to engage that player who's across from you, so that then you can help your center win that draw or get to your spot, whether it's on the defensive side or the offensive side of the puck. And then you execute whatever it is. Shoulder checking if the puck's coming over to your side, like going from strong side to weak side, and you're the winger or you're the D-man. Get into your spot quicker to accept the pass and know where you're going next with it, or where you want to go next with it, and what your options are.
There you go. I like it.
And if you're going D side, block the freaking shot. Stick pressure, block the shot.
Yeah, I think the two things that you said, just from like a concept standpoint, habit standpoint, are really important. Know what you're doing on a win and a loss. Like, just understand what you're doing, and then win the line of scrimmage mentality, right? Like 50-50s, you got to win. You got to win the 50-50s. So many draws are not won cleanly. They're won by the winger. They're won by the D in the D zone, just based on a little race in a battle. So engage that person and then win a spot to space to get the puck. So know what you're doing as far as the plan, and yeah, I think just win the battle. win the battle at the end of the day, engage. When you talk from like a tactical standpoint, I'll kind of talk a little bit more to that. A couple different ways you can do D zone draws. One I'm going to talk about is you can have 5 guys up or 4 guys up, right? So you're going to have 5 guys up at the hash mark, where it's kind of like you're going to have your center at the dot, you're going to have your D on the hash mark on the wall, and then you're going to have a D and 2 forwards, at the other hash mark. Or you can have 4 up, where you have a.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
The secret is out. With millions of younger-looking customers across the country, Plexiderm is one of the most highly sought-after products on the market. It visibly shrinks under-eye bags and smooths out crow's feet in minutes, and the effects last up to 10 hours. Influencers love it, magazines feature it, and people just can't get enough of it. As a matter of fact, Elle Magazine gave it an Editor's Choice Award as Best Instant Wrinkle Filler for 2025. In as little as 10 minutes, Plexiderm reduces the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and those dreaded under-eye bags. So yes, you can look years younger in minutes, and the effects last for hours. No surgery, no gimmicks, just results. The best news, you can try Plexiderm for only $14.95. Plus, get free shipping. Don't wait. Order Plexiderm today. Visit plexiderm.com/special. That's plexiderm.com/special. Paid for by Sheer Science.
Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/secure. Protect yourself now at aura.com/secure.
On the hash mark on the wall, you're going to have a center, you're going to have your 2 wingers at the hash mark in the middle, and then you're going to have a D kind of back behind the centerman. So the center can just win the draw right to that D, and you can do your play, whatever it is from there. So there's pluses and minuses to both of those, obviously, but like, first of all, like, I would encourage everybody to kind of like watch some NHL, because you have both. You got a lot of teams that'll have 5 guys up. You have a lot of teams that'll have a defenseman back right behind the center to be able to make a play quickly. Have you seen a lot of that? Do you have a preference?
I think it depends on the team and the personnel. Like for me, it's always like who's out there and what are their strengths, and then let's play to those players' strengths. That's just kind of my thought on that.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're seeing a lot more 4 guys up and a D back now. It used to be a lot of 5 guys up, and you try to kind of win the draw and either go off the glass or going to go behind the net, to switch sides before getting out of the zone. You're still seeing a lot of both of those 2 things. But by having a defenseman back there that you could potentially win a draw right to, you can make a play a lot more quicker. And now you have people that are picking, right? You have people who are picking, and then you have that defenseman back there that can make the play with a little bit more time and space. So what you're seeing a lot is that defenseman back on the goal line, and then you're going to have your offside winger that kind of like drops off towards the side of the net, makes a quick pass to that guy, and then you're kind of skating outside the zone because that defenseman that's on the blue line isn't going to want to gap all the way down to there, because then you're going to have other wingers that are flying and you might be able to catch them on an odd man break. So you're seeing, I think in the NHL anyway, and in college, you're seeing more four guys up, one guy back splits than you were five guys. When we were, it was mostly five guys up at the end of the day.
Yeah, if you got a great centerman who's, winning every draw and is hot, like obviously I think definitely makes more sense to put the D-man back if you trust that center. But if you got, a guy who's getting smoked all night and, you never want to think you're going into a draw to lose it, but maybe you want to set up a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you can make that call mid-game too,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Other things, I think it's really important. Typically on a lost draw, man on man, pick up your guy. Off a lost draw right away, it's man on man. Wingers get out to your points. Center find the other the forward. D, you got to pick up whichever the other forwards are. And that's where having a plan is really important. And when you get to the higher levels, obviously pre-scouting and knowing what the other team's doing on their face-off plays and getting into those, really important. And there's so much more movement offensively on draws now. The two face-off plays that I put out on social media, a D was coming down the wall and a forward was coming up, through the middle, and there's switches and people just got confused and it was a goal. So it's typically a man on man. You got to call it out beforehand. And at the higher levels, you got to pre-scout that stuff a lot. You got to pre-scout that stuff a lot. And then the other thing that I think is important is there's two different ways you can go when you win a draw. You can either come up the strong side or you can come out the weak side. So if you're coming up the strong side, a lot of times what that is you win the draw back. You're potentially going to pick with the guy on the wall, and then you're going to have your weak side or your net side D. He's going to go get the puck, and then it's off the glass quickly and out, and you're going to have guys fly in the zone. And you're going to try and catch them odd man. You're going to try catch them on their heels, and you could potentially, one, you're going to get the puck out. And number two, you might be able to get a scoring chance if they're a little bit lazy offensively and they're not getting back, right? And so you're seeing a lot of that. And then going to the weak side, you see it 5 men up. A lot of times you'll see the board side guy go get the puck. They're going to do a little bump off the wall to the inside D, who's going to get it and skate out, with the wingers then getting into their spots. Or like I said, what some teams are doing is the board side D will go get the puck, and then the weak side winger will drop off into the corner. Right? Because again, that weak side D is not going to want to go and gap up all the way to the corner. So now all of a sudden that guy's got a little bit of time and space. Center gets into their lane. Winger might be slicing through. You might have an option to hit a defenseman in front of the net as you're skating the puck up. And so just having a plan, honestly, there's no right or wrong answer to a lot of this different type of stuff. I think face-off plays is more about execution and habits than it is about, what gets drawn up on the whiteboard. This was a little bit maybe of a tougher one from a tactical standpoint, not having a whiteboard in front of us. Maybe we'll have to do a little YouTube thing on it at the end of the day. But D-zone draws, so incredibly important. Have a plan, know what you're doing on a win or a loss, win that line of scrimmage mentality, and you'll be able to get her done.
And then also share the show.
Share the show.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.